Remember how Reserve Bank of India announced in July 2022 that they'll be setting up a mechanism to do the international trades in Indian rupee. Looking into the recent affair, which is Indian PM visiting UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan for a day while the Prime Minister was returning back from France, the announcement made last year wasn't for nothing, it seems. I mean, don't get me wrong, of course, India has been trying to work this out ever since it made the ruble rupee transaction possible between Russia and herself, but you also know that it didn't work out. The trade which is now taking place between both countries is mostly through Chinese yuan and US dollar in a limited extent, as Russia is still sanctioned, including UAE dirham. There were a few important reasons why it didn't work out the way countries wanted it to, but that's for another video if you want, another one based upon it. So, now that you have a basic history, the background of how the countries are trying to de dollarize their trade, what happened over this meeting of our Prime Minister and the UAE President? You might be interested in? Let's find out, shall we? Last Saturday, while returning from his journey to France, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid a full day visit to United Arab Emirates, UAE, which is a Gulf region. And you know what one of the things Gulf countries are famous for? Their oil. And we do import oil from UAE. And since last year, April 2022 to March 2023, this year, the trade of $85 billion has been carried out between both countries. India is third largest trading partner to UAE in the world, and UAE is the second largest export destination to India. This calls for both of them to consider taking their advantage to grow their respective economies and work towards the goal of de-dollarization together. And that's what they did. Yes. The two countries' respective central bank governors signed trade related MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding, on Saturday, which will include all current account transactions and permitted capital account transactions, where both of the countries' leaders served as critical witnesses to the agreement. First Memorandum of Understanding will establish a framework to promote local currency for cross border transactions. The other MOU would assist in interlinking the payment and messaging system, that is India's UPI system and UAE's Instant Payment Platform IPP system, which will help in cutting the transaction cost by eliminating the dollar conversions. Later, an official aware of the details told Reuters that India would make its first rupee payment for UAE oil to Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC. RBI said to release guidance to banks regarding the mechanism in 2 to 3 days after resolving the foundational issues. The RBI's plan to settle international trade in the local currency will let importers make payments in the rupee, which will be credited to the special account of the correspondent bank of the partner country, while exporters will be paid from the balances in the designated special account. There is also a MOU signed in order to establish a branch of IIT Delhi in Abu Dhabi, the capital of United Arab Emirates. Hence, time for getting to know how much the countries will benefit from this bilateral agreement, where few crucial ones are obvious. That is, it will foster greater economic cooperation, will cut the transaction cost for both countries by eliminating dollar conversions, thereby taking one important step towards de-dollarization. It will also help India to make similar arrangements with other countries, while it boosts exports when the global trade is running slow. Furthermore, since oil rich Gulf states import 80 to 90% of food, they want to secure their supply chain, and therefore, UAE has guaranteed $2 billion for developing food parks in India to tackle food insecurity in South Asia and the Middle East. Wondering what a food park is? Same. They typically provide high quality food processing infrastructure near the farms and aims at providing modern infrastructure facilities for food processing along the value chain from farm to market. According to Indian Trade Minister, the country is also assented upon raising non-petroleum trade to about $100 billion by 2030. Well, this bilateral agreement will prove to be greatly beneficial for both the countries, unless some issues similar to Russian Indian currency transaction pop up. That's it. Thanks for watching.